The Never Gets Old podcast, the podcast of all we love in TV, movies, music, and comics, with your hosts, Mac Jackson and Nick Narrow. Look for us on YouTube and Facebook.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Never Gets Old podcast. I'm Nick Narrow.
And I'm Mac Jackson. For those who are just joining us, thank you. And for those who have been listening for a while, also thank you. I've been using, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been using Twitter a lot to attach to like-minded people as far as anything with the podcast. You can do hashtag podcast or superheroes or whatever.
Right.
Seems to make a difference. I mean, at least you're making yourself known.
Yeah.
So also, what I didn't get to hear your thoughts. For those who are watching this on YouTube, you'll notice I'm putting up the new logo that I took and tweaked. I put a lot of characters besides Nick and myself. I put 4 or 5 characters around each side of the Stargate popping out. I didn't get to hear your thoughts. What do you think of that?
I like it. It looks good. It's very representative of the podcast itself.
Yeah, and you know what it is too. I wanted to show us, but also, I don't know, I've constantly have the idea of showing us in the middle and then our quote-unquote soldiers on either side.
Right.
You know what I mean? To represent us. Now, even if they cross over with both of us liking certain characters,
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's characters that we both like, but you probably are more attached to than me and vice versa, so.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, well, let me do this, and that way, just to mix it up, because I get not tired of our logo. I love our logo, and I love the people who did it for us. But just to keep it fresh, And
yeah, of course.
I said to Cindy, reading comics, besides loving it for all that it is, and it's inspiring like the way music is inspiring. I read that, and I'm like, okay, ooh, what a great idea, and even just the layout of a cover of a comic can look great enough that I want to do something like that.
Yeah.
So, all right, so I start tweaking this because I'm like, the logo that we have Joseph Arnold did for us, I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And the Stargate and the way the letters are for the Never Gets Old podcast, it looks fantastic. But wouldn't it be cool if I can get our guys on there? Or another thought I had was, wouldn't it be great to have like a room full of artifacts representing, like Marty McFly's hoverboard and the TARDIS and Indy's hat and whip, that sort of thing. But I haven't quite figured out how to do the layout to my satisfaction, because some things are smaller and other things are bigger, like a TARDIS or a Stargate or a DeLorean.
Yeah.
Whereas the sonic screwdriver is held in your hand. How do you bring that more forward? It's tough. So I did that, and then I sent it to you, and I thought, you know what? Like you kind of, the way you answered it was like it was pretty representative the way it should be, and I'm like, yes. But it was the pretty representative that stuck in my mind, because I'm like, yes, I want more. Okay, there's some great people, but I only fit 4 or 5. Boy, what about this guy? What about that guy? What about the turtles?
Mm-hmm.
what about Gandalf for you? And I just my mind kept reeling. So then I kept going back to the that one drawing that Dane Cook. I'm not saying his name right, am I? The comic book artist writer.
Did you say Dane Cook?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, no, that's a comedian. No, Cook, Darwin Cook. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
I don't even have to look it up now. I'm like, wait, I know this guy. Love his art. It's cartoony and yet detailed at the same time. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So he does that great collage that I have posted on our page. It's a mixture of all the superheroes and like Men in Black are there and Buzz Lightyear's in there. And I just love the whole idea of them all standing together, interacting. And it looks like they're there for a group photo because Spider-Man is up taking the shot. So they're all kind of looking up off to the side. Well, darn it. Joseph Arnold said he was going to do it. But, and maybe he will, and, there's no rush. He's got his own stuff going on. But, darn it, since I did our logo, I'm doing it myself.
Yeah, why not?
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and the picture that I sent you, if you look at the picture of us, it's very much like the comic strip. Which I thought, okay, I'll do it in the Darwin Cook style. It'll be dot eyes and line eyebrows, and that should be good enough. And for you and I it is, because, that works. But when you start to, and I don't mean this as a backhanded compliment to myself, but when I start drawing iconic people, in order for them to be recognizable, you have to add certain detail. And your mom can attest to this. That's what she teaches. Detail. Everything you gotta do, shadows and angles and, know when to put like creases in the face and in order to make these people recognizable, I've had to add detail. Well, now the problem is I've done enough of them where I'm like, yep, that looks like them. And now I go back to the picture of you and I with the dot eyes and the line eyebrows. And I go, wow, that kind of looks weak in comparison. So.
Yeah, so you're going to go back and forth and keep adding detail until then it's not even that anymore.
Exactly. So what I did was I redrew you and I in Indy and MacGyver because when the one that I sent you, I'm like, yeah, it works until I do other people. Like, I'm dying to show you the Gandalf that I did. I'll tell you, I drew Harry Potter, and he's like looking up in awe at Gandalf, while Gandalf is looking down and has his hand on his shoulder.
Okay.
If I do say so myself, from looking at references, Gandalf looks like Gandalf. But, good. Yeah, but he doesn't look cartoony. Ooh. Is that me? I have the guacamole?
I was plugging my phone in.
No.
I apologize to everybody who's listening. Not that you guys are craving to hear my voice or anything, but Mac was pretty much talking because I was just eating. It just took us a long time to get recording, and hopefully this might be the best sounding we've sounded in a long time.
Ever.
But I was chowing down while he was talking and just in between trying to respond a little bit. But I'm done now, so.
Oh, well, all right. But anyway, Gandalf, to do Gandalf or people like that with long hair and wrinkles, you can't do a fair cartoony thing. So, needless to say, what's probably going to happen because I have to fit so many people, and once it's shrunk, I don't know if all this detail will even matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
the thing is that for you, who's doing it, you have to be okay with it.
Exactly.
That's really what it comes down to. So, do it however you feel it needs to be done, and then,
Yeah.
Just let it be what it is.
and I took your list, and the one guy, who's the guy, Lincoln? What's the guy's name from Lord of the Rings?
Legolas?
Is that it? Legolas? Okay, I don't know how to say it. I just look at him like Lego.
Yeah,
the Lego guy? I don't know who that. And then I looked up, I'm like, oh, I like that guy. Because
he's my favorite.
Is he? I didn't know
Yeah.
if it was Gandalf or it was, the lead Hobbit or what the deal was, but.
Well, I mean, I like them all. I do. I like a lot of the characters from Lord of the Rings. I just like when the movie came out, and I was in 8th or 9th grade or whatever. Legolas was who stuck out to me because I've always kind of been interested in bow and arrow type stuff. Like I've always liked characters who use that, and then I mean he was also the closest to a Link type character from Legend of Zelda.
You're right.
Blonde-haired elf clad in green. So like he stuck out to me. So and he pretty much became my favorite character. And I like Orlando Bloom too. I know he gets a lot of crap, but I think he's a pretty cool dude. So overall he's probably my favorite character. But I love Gandalf and I love Bilbo and Frodo. But
yeah.
So
well.
That's just sorry. I unplugged and plugged back in again.
But anywho, so yeah, as I'm doing these characters, I'm trying to have them instead of all just facing the same way. I'm having them much like the Darwin Cook thing. They look at each other, they might interact, they might have their arm around each other, type of thing. And I have Legolas in a cool pose, but I'm also going to have Green Arrow and Hawkeye in there. So to have the archers, next to each other.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's very cool.
I'm telling you, the more I'm doing this, the more I'm like, holy crap, I can't. That's why I'm like, no, I got to send him a tweet full of. If you go to, you can see some of the sketchings at Mac W. Jackson is my Twitter name. I did it last night or the night before. You can check it out. But, the more I'm doing it, the more I'm like, oh, you know what? These guys would look cool. Like, I have Marty and Marty McFly and Doc Brown on there. He's from McDonald's. He's Doc McBrown.
Marty Fly and Doc McBrown.
That's right. But we're not ripping off the movie at all. What are you talking about? It's a fresh idea.
They're totally different new characters. Dr. Everest McBrown and Martin Fly.
But I have a lot of the time travelers together. Like I have Sam Beckett and Al from Quantum Leap. And I'm going to do Al because he's a hologram. I'm going to kind of have him faded out where if you saw my Doc Brown drawing, he's like going, and has his hand out. I'm thinking of maybe having him putting his hand through Al, like being fascinated by that.
Okay.
So it just to kind of have, that sort of basically a dream of wouldn't it be great if, how we do our crossover ideas. And to have, them interacting. I have both Sherlocks next to each other. Anybody that I think will. Oh, I got another cool one. You saw the Turtles, right? Because I have the Turtles are going to be standing next to and around Daredevil. Because for those who know about the Turtles, Daredevil was the Frank Miller Daredevil was what was the inspiration for the Turtles to begin with. So to have them kind of like looking on in awe at him, I thought would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then I hope you like the Cap because it's hard to pick what kind of Captain America to do. And I took the one from the movie But then I gotta get it. The shield is gonna kind of be in his way a lot. Like, you know how he holds the shield in front of him? I kind of have... And I don't even know if that's gonna matter, because they're gonna be so jam-packed from the hips up, they'll be covered by the guy in front of them.
Yeah.
But, you know, I could always tweak it once I get it on the computer.
Yeah.
But, who else? I got Mario and, Sonic on there, because that's who you wanted.
Yeah, I saw.
And Buzz Lightyear.
Yep.
Who else? Oh, and the guy from the Indiana Jones guy. Drake.
Oh, Nathan Drake. Yeah.
Kind of happy with how he came out. You know, and that's the other thing too.
Everything looked good from what I saw.
Because I'm trying to, you know, come to grips with it. Like, okay, it's not all this detail that I'm worried about isn't even going to show up once I start adding color, and once I shrink them so that they all fit on the page. But like you said, I'm doing it, so I got to kind of be okay with it.
Yeah, and there's nothing to say you can't post an image of it, you know, blown up too.
Yeah, good point. Cindy said that, actually. She goes, well, these are great. What are you going to do with them? You know, what have you been doing with your previous drawings? Like from the logo that I was just talking about around the Stargate. She goes, what do you do with them? I said, I don't know, I'll toss them. I don't care. She's like, no, don't toss them, because, you know, what if you need them, or what if down the road people want to see where it came from? And yeah, but I'm like, they're scanned out of the computer. Maybe I'll keep them on there.
Yeah, I wouldn't get rid of them.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get rid of anything unless, like, I absolutely hate it.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, too. I figure if I scan it onto the computer, that's good enough, because I could always print it out.
Yeah.
I don't need to keep the actual pencil-to-paper thing. But yeah, so it's addicting. That's another thing. Once I started doing these, I'm like, you know what? What about that person? Ooh, what about people on sitcoms? Is there anybody that really matters? Because not only do I have to get the people that we really care about, but there's going to be some people who get cut off around the edges.
Yeah.
You know, so who am I okay with that happening to? So I'm, you know, writing like certain sitcom people, or, you know, people who I didn't even think of the first time. I'm like, okay, that, like, right now, I'll tell you who I'm drawing right now. I'm doing the Stooges.
Okay.
And then I'm thinking about doing the Three Amigos.
Okay.
Because, you know, you and I love Chevy Chase and Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Well, think about Fletch. Love Fletch, but how do you do Fletch? How do you make it known that, oh, look, he's drawing Fletch right there?
Yeah, it's kind of...
You know? And, alright, Clark Griswold. How? Unless I put a Christmas thing on him, and even that is...
Yeah, when you're doing things like actor-specific characters, where it is just... I mean, I know Indy is currently an actor-specific character, but I think the character can be displayed without having to get Harrison Ford's likeness exactly right. But if you're doing Chevy Chase, you have to caricaturize Chevy Chase. Like, that's in order for people to know that's who it is.
And that's why I figure if I get the Three Amigos, we're nailing any part they've ever played, and people are going to know, oh, Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, Martin Short. Okay.
Yeah.
You know. And I'm thinking of maybe having the Three Stooges looking at the Three Amigos and vice versa.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Right? And then I put, and this is where I had to stop myself, because I started to put some musicians who are near and dear to me. And then I had to stop because, like I said, they have to be iconic. I drew Mike Nesmith in his monkey Mike Nesmith look.
Right.
Who'd I put? I did David Gray. I don't know. And I have Harry Chapin. I'm kind of hoping that the shirt that I have him in will make it known that it's Harry Chapin, because other than that, it's tough to you know, Simon and Garfunkel, you have to have standing together.
Mm-hmm.
Everly Brothers, you have to have standing together. And then I'm like, okay. And I threw in Katie Tunstall. But the idea is to have them all basically in a group chatting with each other.
Right.
And then I had to stop because I can keep going, but, you know, enough. I don't need it to be musical. You know, they're in a corner by themselves. Move on. Otherwise, my list would, how much do I like this guy? Okay, how much do I like that guy? You know.
Yeah.
And if I need to add people just on the fringes, I guess I could, but oh, it's exciting and it's fun and it's addicting because I've been drawing a couple people every day. But then once I feel I'm done, now I got to go in and color them all and then go try and fit them all on a, you know, on one picture.
Yeah. Have fun.
Yeah. But you know what? It is fun because in the middle it's going to be you and I holding the sign and then everybody's around us.
Yeah.
So I think it will last for a long, long time. The only thing I worry about is anybody new who becomes near and dear to our heart.
Right.
My gosh, son of a b. Anywho, tell me about how was your Christmas?
It was good, a little crazy though, because it was a lot of running around, and you know, trying to keep people happy and stuff like that. And I just wanted to relax, and it wasn't an option. And I you know, the only day I had off was I had Christmas and New Year's Day off. I worked every other day. So aside from the weekend days, but still, like, the past couple of years, we had, you know, at least Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas and whatever. Like, we took some time off around the holidays, and this year just wasn't, you know, possible to do that, I guess. But I feel like we could have, but
right.
It was insisted that we couldn't, so I barely even feel like, I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer or anything, but to me, they came and went, and I don't feel like I had a great holiday. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, the people I spent time with and you know, with Mara and everything, I got great presents. Everybody was fantastic. You know, there's no drama or anything like that. It's just, I was so tired and exhausted. By the end of it, it was almost as bad as, you know, not having a holiday or something like that. So, but I mean, good overall.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
It's so funny too because I thought the same thing, and you know, everybody makes the joke about, oh, it's Christmas time and it's a lot of work, and it is. Yeah. We had Christmas Eve as always here. We host the family Christmas Eve here, which is, you know, an honor. But it's a bunch of work because you have to clean the house. And with 2 kids, I'm constantly on them to clean. Get cleaning, get going. You know, and in this case, it's not just when you get to it or, come on, I need to be patient. It's, no, we're having guests over, get moving. You know, that was... Yeah, and then you're just going. And then on Christmas Day, you wake up. And by the time we got to sleep Christmas Eve, holy crap, was it late.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad. So then Mikey's up early and, you know, waking us up. And it was the first time in a long time where I actually felt like the cliche of, I just can't move. You know, I literally just was like, oh, God, my kingdom for another 5 minutes in bed. Just, ugh.
Yeah.
And normally if somebody wakes you up, all right, give me 3 minutes to slowly get myself out of bed. This was worse. This was, oh God. It was like a half hour later. We're like, okay. And he was patient. But then, open up the gifts, get going, and now jump in the shower and run up to my sister's for 1 o'clock. So you're right. You just go. You know, it's a, and I'm not, like you said, not being Debbie Downer, but That's the facts. It's hard work.
And I'm sure everybody in some case has that same feeling, the running around to the different families and whatever, and it's crazy. And I know everybody knows what we're talking about. That unless you're lucky enough to be the one who hosts all the holidays and you just stay at your house, and I mean that's work too. You have to prepare food and stuff like that if it's not known that, or not decided that everybody will bring something or whatever. It's still work. You have to be clean and things like that. But man, what I wouldn't give to just be able to have stayed in one place and had everybody come to me. I would do any amount of cooking or cleaning to have that be the case.
Yeah. How about presents? You said you got a lot of presents.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a lot. I suppose I got a good amount, but not that I care about the number.
No.
I care more about the fact that people thought of something that I would want or need and got it for me. It doesn't really matter the amount or how much it costs, just that they, a person, whoever it may be, said this is what he would like and could use and got it for me, and it's thoughtful and all that stuff. Which this year I was trying something and it kind of a little bit blew up in my face. I only told Mara what I wanted for Christmas, basically. I didn't give her a list, but on the run up to Christmas, I was like, I could really use, this is something that I want, this is something that I want, whatever. Like, I gave her a lot of ideas, that she had slyly written down or whatever, kept in her mind for Christmas time. And then, December rolled around and my mom goes, give me a list. And I was like, no. She's like, why? I was like, because if I give you the list of things that I want, Mara knows them all, and I don't know what she's getting me. I can't say, hey, what are you going to get me for Christmas? Because then what's the point? Like, I hate doing that, being like, here's a list of things I want, get them for me, and give them to me on this day. Like, what? That's not the same thing.
Right.
So I said, if you want to know what I want, Mara has a list. I don't know what she's bought already, but she couldn't have possibly bought everything. Get in touch with her. You have her number. They converse, like they text each other, and I'm like, just ask her. That way, I don't have to know what I'm getting or where it's coming from.
Uh-huh.
You guys just talk and be done with it. Well, somehow they ended up buying me the same thing anyway. And there was a big to-do, like, the week or two before Christmas, and Mara was mad because she's like, well, I have to take mine back because I can't make your mom take the thing back or whatever. It ended up being an external hard drive.
Okay.
And my mom got me a bigger one. She got me a 4 terabyte hard drive. And Mara had only got me a 1 terabyte hard drive, which still is more memory than I might ever need, but for doing video stuff, hopefully this year, the more memory, the better. So, she let my mom give me the external hard drive and she returned it, the other one. But, so, there was a big thing about that and Mara wasn't happy and I was just like, yeah, I don't know how that happened. I don't know, like, how could that possibly have happened? I gave only one person an idea of what I wanted, and 2 people got the same thing. I'll never know. But anyway, so I got that hard drive, which was awesome, because I definitely need it. You need a lot of memory for video recording. And I wanted a hard drive to throw all my music on, just in case my computer crashes, like it can always tend to do. And now I'll just never have to worry about it because all my music's on the external hard drive. And I got, from Mara, I got, like 5 of the Batman graphic novels that I wanted.
Yeah?
I can't remember exactly which ones because I filled in a couple gaps on my own with, my grandmother always gives me like $100 for Christmas, so I took that to a couple different places and filled in some of the gaps.
I'll have to talk about that.
But I've just been reading those. So she got me Bat books. She got me a controller for the Wii U, a Pro controller, which is a lot easier to use than the gamepad. She got me Hyrule Warriors, which is also for Wii U. I've wanted that for a while. She got me a vaporizer pen so that I can stop smoking real cigarettes, or at least slow down smoking real cigarettes. Yeah, it helps too. I mean, it's great because one of the good things is, especially during the winter time, is I don't have to go outside to smoke when I'm certain places. Like when I'm in my own house, I could smoke inside if I want, but everywhere else, it's, you have to go outside. And also, there are just some times where it's just like, you don't want to smoke a whole cigarette, so you just use that thing, and it's one thing. It gets rid of cravings and stuff like that. So, and you're not inhaling chemicals and life-threatening, chemicals, I guess. So there's that, and then, if she listens to this, she'll probably kill me for forgetting everything.
She's not gonna listen.
No, probably not, no. So she got, but like, those were the important things, and a lot of it was a surprise. I didn't know she was gonna get me the Bat books. I didn't know what game she was gonna get me. I didn't know she was, it was just stuff that I had said, like, oh, I need this. Mm-hmm. But because it was so close to the holidays, like, I didn't want to go out and buy it for myself just in case. Mm-hmm. So my mom got me, the hard drive, obviously. She got me, Captain America slippers.
Okay.
She got me a nice cardigan. She got me a bathrobe. She got me, what else? A little coffee table book, like a Jimmy Fallon book. I don't know why. She must have thought it was funny. I like Jimmy Fallon, but it wasn't something like I was hoping for or whatever, but it's cool. It's nice. And then she got me, and I can't believe this, and I'm like, I've never ever, like, wanted to return something in my entire life that I've gotten for Christmas. Never ever until this year. She got me what is it? I think it's Fisher Price. Little Tykes, Little People, I'm sorry. The Little People set. You probably are familiar with them because Mikey and your daughter are at that age. Or at least were pretty recently.
Yeah.
They're the little unarticulated people. They just have, like, chubby little bodies and heads.
Yes, that's what Everly has that.
Yes. And she got me a Little People nativity set, and I opened it up and I was like, you have to return this.
I know.
Like, no, you have to keep it. I'm like,
no.
I'm never ever gonna do anything with this.
Exactly.
Like, and I didn't want to be sitting there on Christmas like, Mom, I'm not religious, so I'm never gonna use a nativity set. But I was just like, what am I going to do with this? And she's like, well, you'll have it when you have kids. I'm like, no. Either return it or you keep it and give it to my kids when I have them. Right. But I don't want this. Like, I don't need, what a waste. Why did you spend the money on this? And I'm like, I like toys. I get that. I really do. And sometimes I will buy some, like, goofy or even, like, the little superhero stuff that's for kids, but just because it's like, oh, it's an adorable little Captain America or whatever. Right. But, like, it was crazy, and I'm like, I was trying to be really nice about it, but I was like, Mom, why did you get this? And she's like, well, I ordered it out of a magazine, so I'm not returning it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, great. Man, it was, like, such a waste, and I feel bad. And that was another, like, situation where, not giving a list blew up in my face because that's, like, so far out. And she was trying to, like, explain it, like, oh, you loved these when you were a kid. And I'm like, I get that, but that was, like, 25 years ago. Like, I get the idea that I like toys, but not toddler toys. It'd be akin to buying me like one of those, spinning things where you hit the button and the arrow spins and it lands on the cow and it says the cow goes moo. Like, what am I gonna do with that?
Yeah, I know.
And then she also got me a Lego set that I did return because I didn't want the set. It was a Hobbit set, and I'm not super thrilled with how the movies came out, and I didn't particularly want the set, but I didn't tell her that, and she won't listen to this either. So I used that, and I got a video game instead. I got Epic Mickey 2, which I wanted to play for a while, and I figured if I was going to return something she bought me, I might as well get something that she would at least approve of, or be like, oh, okay, cool, at least you got that. So,
right.
Because she's for anyone who doesn't know, she's a Disney fanatic and loves Mickey Mouse.
I did not know that.
So there was that, and then from Mara's parents, I got an Assassin's Creed Mega Bloks set, which I did want. I love Assassin's Creed, and for anyone who, if you do collect that kind of stuff or know about it, Mega Bloks has been doing phenomenal. They've been doing like Halo and Call of Duty, and they also just got Assassin's Creed, so I got one of those sets, and they got me a book about, I think it's the history of video games or something like that, I forget. Or, I'm sorry, it's called Console Wars, and it's about, like, in the early 90s, the battle between Nintendo and Sega. And finally, another thing I'm super excited about, it's a gigantic book called The Batman Files.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it, but they have it at Books A Million. It's huge, and it's supposed to be like Batman's journal. It's supposed to be written the perspective of Bruce Wayne, and it goes from like his beginning before he even starts being Batman all the way up to Damian and like present day. It must have just come out this year, and it like details everybody. It details like Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Jason Todd, Damian, Barbara Gordon, all the different Batgirls and Alfred and all the villains, like from his perspective and what he thinks about them and stuff like that. So it's I haven't gotten into it yet because I'm trying to read through the graphic novels first, but then I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah,
that should be pretty good to read.
Man, it's funny too, because when you're talking about gifts that you're like, why did you get that? And you're right, you don't want to say anything that could possibly be hurtful because, again, it's a gift and you assume people put a lot of thought into it. But I know that whole feeling of, do you even know me? I completely understand what you're talking about with the nativity set. It's like, it's not like you said, boy, you know what I need for my place? A nativity set, and I wish they came out with like a toy version of it. That's one thing. But I remember years ago, and my mom does this occasionally, but she also understands that it's a shot in the dark. She'll get me goofy things because, like you said, you don't want to necessarily give a list and say, just get me this. Cindy always says, I like to surprise you and get you things that I think you're going to like. Okay, because there's some thought. Well, I remember years ago, God, I had to have been a teenager. My mother got me, I played pool, okay? And I was pretty good at it, surprisingly, considering we had a pool table in our basement, and then the year I was old enough to start reaching to play, my father had me take it apart. That's a bitter pill. But anyway, as a teenager, I started going out and playing pool and have some type of knack for it. Well, she decided for Christmas, here's a surprise that I got you. And I remember opening it Christmas morning, and it was, those catalogs where it's, here's a catalog full of crap you don't need that you really can't do anything with, but, put it on your desk or put it on a shelf.
Yeah.
Dust collectors, basically. Well, this was a little pool table, about, not even the length of my wrist to my elbow. A solid wood with real felt and little tiny ball and sticks and boom, you open it up. And the whole idea, I guess, it's supposed to sit on your on your desk if you are the corporate type who has room on their desk for crap?
Yeah.
And I said, what am I going to do? I mean, thank you, but I don't know what this is for. I don't know. You like pool, so I thought maybe you might be able, I can take it back. I don't know. She already knew as I opened it that this probably wasn't the best use of money.
Right.
And did you get further away from your phone?
No.
Ooh,
I don't think so. Maybe.
The volume dropped out. Anyway, okay, because, I mean, even if I had a giant desk, which I didn't, I was a teenager, who has room for that? Yeah. And then last year, the year before, she got me a tripod with battery-operated lights in case your car breaks down on the side of the road and you need to work under your car. And it's bright lime green. Just I could take it back if you want. I don't know. I mean, you could. It's just going to sit in my car, which I think is where it is now, just in case. Yeah. And here's the thing. I like to fix things myself, but I also know not to get myself in over my head, like, say, plumbing or electricity, because you can die. Or break it worse.
Electricity, yes. Plumbing is a little harder to die from unless
right. I mean,
standing in your flooded basement used to leave.
Right, and it'll end up worse off than you started. That's more what I meant by that. But
right, of course.
So I don't really see myself on a highway going, "Oh, my car broke down. Let me climb under there, lay on the ground underneath my vehicle while it's propped up, and oh, thank God I have these little lights."
Yeah.
But I hung on to it just in case there's a time when I do need to have a light, and just somewhere in the house or whatever.
Yeah.
It's whatever. But I completely empathize with that moment. That's the other thing too.
You know what?
Go ahead.
I think sometimes people might just buy things to buy them. Like to say, I don't know if I got this person enough.
Right.
Okay, this might be useful. And it's like, in those moments, either just don't, or gift card. Like that, I know, that's kind of the cop out. People do feel like it's kind of a cop out, but I mean, if someone handed me a Toys R Us gift card or a Target gift card or any, my brother used to get me a Burger King gift card. Not every year, but he would do it. And it's awesome. Now I don't have to use my money for lunch or this thing or that thing or whatever. It's not that bad if you can't think of one more thing, but you need to get something gift card. It's really not that bad. It's bad if it's the only thing you give people. Here, I don't know you at all, so go buy yourself a bunch of crap. But it's oh, I know they go to this store a lot. Maybe there's something they have in mind, but they're just, didn't get around to getting it. Here's a gift card on top of some other stuff that I've gotten you that I know you'll like or whatever. So
exactly.
I don't know.
And you know what? The older I get, the more I'm thinking, boy, I've had some really stinkers through the years. I would give anything just for a gift card.
Yeah.
And I got the new thing that I've been getting the last couple of years is Dunkin' Donuts gift card because I get my
great as well.
And Cindy got me, besides other things, a Hot Topic gift card because I also got a $15 off my next purchase thing from there because I went there and got a lot of stuff for Cindy, Doctor Who stuff and Walking Dead, Sherlock, T-shirts and whatever. But while I'm there, I'm oh, I want this and I want that, and holy crap, because it's Hot Topic for us who like comics and sci-fi and stuff can be a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Well, I have to wait until the 15th to go use that 15% off thing.
Right.
Well, I'm doing it. I can't wait. I went there the other day just to walk around and go, oh, okay, I'm getting that Captain America shirt. You know, when he was the what was his title? Where it was just the star with the stripes.
Yeah, the agent, well, he was director of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's S.H.I.E.L.D.
But it was something soldier, just super soldier.
Super
that's what they call it.
Soldier. Yeah.
I'm getting that shirt. I swear to God. As long as they don't get out of it, I've wanted that because that's a cool logo to begin with.
Right.
And you know, some other shirts. I'm getting that. I'm getting the Alex Ross Batman shirt. I'm getting, So.
Oh, I have the Alex Ross Batman shirt.
Which one?
The one with the villains.
Where he's choking the Joker.
The villains one.
Where he's choking the Joker.
Yes, and all the other ones, all the villains are him. I bought that, and I bought the. It's the last page of the Killing Joke. It's on a white T-shirt. What's that?
Where they're laughing?
Yes.
Okay.
I got those two.
And they had that at Hot Topic?
They did. That's where I got them.
Oh, I'm so pumped. Not to mention they have a whole section of Doctor Who crap that I'm eyeing.
Yeah, they're pretty heavily stocked with Doctor Who.
Oh, and they ran out of Walking Dead stuff.
Well, that's not surprising.
But I said to the girl, is this all? Yeah. I said, all right, well, you'll restock them. Yeah, probably not for a while. I don't know. What do you mean, I don't know? You think people are going to buy your Walking Dead crap? I'm here. Hi, I want to buy it.
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, we probably will. Probably just wait until the show's about to, debut. I'm like, well, that's February, so get going. Anyway, what else did you get?
My brother got me a nice watch. A very nice watch. I shouldn't undersell it. It's a really nice Nautica watch. I don't wear a lot of watches, but when I do, I am pretty particular about them. Like, I don't wear gold or silver or anything like that. Like, I like a leather banded watch, and nothing like those big chunky leather banded watches that were in style a couple years ago. Like, just a standard leather banded watch, and that's what he got me, and it's really, really nice. And I haven't even worn it yet. I feel bad, but like, I haven't also had an occasion to wear it. I don't want to wear it to work and have it get banged up and dirty. It's a very, very nice watch. So waiting to take it out of the box and do something nice with it. So
I know exactly what you're talking about, because there's things like even shoes. I got shoes. Every year my aunt gets me new dress shoes. And I'm like, okay, well, it's winter time. I'm not breaking those bad boys out yet.
Oh, yeah.
I'll wait until it's spring and the ground is clean and dry. But, what do you think? All right. I gotta run down my list and Mikey's because he got some cool stuff. There's a lot of stuff that
okay.
Santa gave him, that he had to wait for this day to give, because his birthday happened too, and so did mine. So, we have our family party together, one party for both of us. Let me think. What did he get? He got, a quick story about this bad boy. Got the sonic screwdriver of the 11th Doctor, which is a real...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's $30-some. It's a real working screwdriver. I mean, you take it apart, and inside they have the bits that you can actually use it as a screwdriver. Which was great until we were on...
Okay, cool.
We were on our way up to my sister's, and he said, I'm bringing it with me, but I'm not going to open it because I don't want to lose the parts. And we're like, good, all right, very smart. And then we hear ping, and pieces go all over the place.
Oh.
So, okay. When he did that, the spring popped out of it, the guts fell out of it, and the metal bit of the screwdriver got wedged down in it. It's one, it's a small green bit. So he walks.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, he has to walk into my sister's house Christmas morning crying because of what he did. And then I gotta walk in there and right away fix it because he's not gonna stop being sad until I fix his new toy, which he thinks is broken forever. Let me think. He got Marty McFly and Doc Brown action figures.
The little Funko ones?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that and the 10th Doctor that was such a pain to find.
Yeah.
He got that. So, he also got the TARDIS. And
oh, cool.
Yeah, that was my mother gave him that for his birthday. No, gave it that Christmas Eve. It's the TARDIS with the 11th Doctor and a hologram Clara. I haven't even gotten to that episode yet, but that had to be last because we knew anything else he got wouldn't have mattered if he opened that first.
Yeah.
Lot of stuff like that. Oh, got some Legos.
Nice.
As you saw, I sent you the picture of we put together his Stargate Legos, the Death Glider.
Yeah.
Well, my uncle, if I could find it, I guess they're upstairs, sent him Legos too. Great. I thought it would be like, superhero or turtles or whatever. And it's a truck, which is great. And it's actual Legos because we've had this discussion.
Right.
He even got $50 from my aunt, so we went up to try and spend it.
Mm-hmm.
Thought maybe we'll get you some Legos. Even the simplest small box.
Yeah.
So overpriced. Just on principle. We're like, nope. Can't.
Yeah, Legos they've come a long way.
Holy crap. I mean, there's nothing here that we can, things I want, absolutely. But I wouldn't feel right of him spending his $50.
Yeah.
If he really, really gets into them later, maybe we will. But, got a couple of those. I'll think of it as a bet for him. But I got, what did I get? Cindy did a mix because I do a list. Because, one, I want to make sure I'm getting some stuff that I really want. And I figure if I don't get it, I'm just going to buy it myself. So here's an option,
Right.
And I do the thing with, my mother will say, well, what do you want? Or my aunt will say, what do you want? And I'll give them a rundown, but I'm also going to say what you said. Check. Because Cindy has a list. You can talk it over with her.
Yeah.
My mother doesn't do the internet shopping, so she'll have one of us do it for somebody. But yeah, I got a nice mix. She got me some shirts. She got me it says, and I'm sure you've seen this, always be yourself. Unless you can be Batman. Then always be Batman, yeah.
Yeah.
I got that one. I got the Doctor Who speech about timey-wimey, the theory.
Yeah.
Okay. I also got, what was the other shirt? Oh, a Stargate shirt that says there's no place like, and then it's all the chevron symbols for a destination.
Okay.
So that's like an insider joke type of thing. Either people will get it or they won't. All right, got other stuff. Good stuff. Oh, I got Spider-Man 2, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 on Blu-ray.
Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody must not like you very much.
Wow. Buzzing. I love that movie. I don't, and it's funny too because in the past week or two, I've just seen article after article about people saying how that's destroyed the franchise and now, with the whole Sony thing.
That's hyperbole, but I mean, if someone got you a gift certificate for a colonic, it might have been a better use of money.
All right, Nick, tell me how you really feel about that movie. Come on, stop.
It's absolute. It's almost absolute garbage.
Wow, that bad now? Okay. Wow.
No, everything. Okay. Andrew Garfield, awesome. The whole him and Emma Stone storyline, awesome. Him as Spider-Man, awesome. whatever they did with the story, other than that, like the villain stuff, awful. And it sucks because they had such good actors doing it all. And they rushed everything because they're trying to play catch up. The same problem that DC is probably going to have. Everything's going to feel rushed. Nothing's going to be explained. And I'm not asking for over exposition, just the right amount, which they skip over. And it just turns out to be a live action, poorly written cartoon. Half of the movie. Half of Amazing Spider-Man. And I really hope that doesn't happen with Batman, Superman. And it probably won't because I just heard they're splitting it into 2 parts.
See, that's the latest rumor. And now I just saw something like Henry Cavill said, no, they're not. But no, that's what he said. But again, I'll wait until the dust settles.
Yeah, like he has any sort of say over that. Like, right. Hey, you're in the movie. We're going to take the stuff we filmed and you make it 2 parts. What's he going to be like? No, you can't do that. Okay.
You know what? Between you and me, I agree. I think they should. If for all that I hear, and again, who knows what to believe. But I wouldn't mind it being broken up into 2 parts. Take your time.
Who cares? As long as the story is told well, I don't care how many parts it's told in.
Because right now the cast is way too big to make a satisfactory 2-hour movie.
Exactly. It would be crammed full and unsatisfying. Other than to be like, unless you go in there and just you're, I don't know, brain dead and go, oh, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Batman, it was great. Okay, you can't just do that. You can't just say oh, they're there, so it's good.
I agree.
It has to be well done.
And you know what? I'm also waiting for the dust to settle because every day I hear something different about, boy, I really hope this is true, getting Spider-Man into the Marvel movies. Because apparently...
They were saying it, yeah, and then latest I just heard was that they're rushing production on Amazing Spider-Man 3, is what I heard, and trying to still go ahead with Sinister Six and whatever else. It's going to be just absolute crap.
Yeah, see, I'll be, like I said, for me to even worry about it right now, the fact that it's even a possibility, if Sony's in such crap water where they're like, okay, Marvel, we're willing to cut a deal, I would think Disney would go, oh, okay, yeah. Because, if they're doing Civil War, one of the best parts of Civil War was the whole Spider-Man angle.
Right, yeah.
The
thing is, at this point, it doesn't matter. For Spider-Man, he doesn't have to be part of Civil War because the reason it was so important in the books for Spider-Man to be in Civil War was he's an established character within that universe that everybody loves. If there are people who hate Spider-Man, I don't know what's wrong with those people in their lives, but everybody loves Spider-Man. He means a lot. The whole thing is no one knows my secret identity except for whatever Mary Jane knew it, I believe, and maybe 1 or 2 other people, but nobody else knows it. The world has never known it, and it was a huge deal for him to come out and be like, I'm Spider-Man. They try to do that in the movie, and it's not connected to the Andrew Garfield stuff, which it wouldn't be. People are gonna be like, okay, so what? Who cares? I'm sure Marvel could pull it off and have it be heartwarming or whatever. Maybe not heartwarming, that's the wrong word, but a big deal. But it still wouldn't be completely right because he didn't exist within that universe in a manner that would justify it being a big deal.
I agree, but for me, it's not even that. Okay, if they do have him in it, he doesn't have to unmask. For me, it's he's torn between, he's following Tony Stark until the end, and he goes, oh wait, crap, no, I agree with Cap. He was that guy in the middle being pulled either way. That's what I think they would use it for. Because you're right. If they did the whole unmasking thing, be like, he's not established enough. Who cares?
Right.
There's no big impact. But I don't know. I hope. They're still, they haven't even started yet. So we'll see. I hope they do it. God.
They were, from what I read, and it was part of that whole, leaked emails thing or whatever, the whole hacking thing. it was that this month, and I forget the exact date, but January, they were supposed to have a summit or something where they talk about what they're going to do with Spider-Man and figure all that stuff out. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, like I said,
I'm not going to hold my breath, and I'm not going to be upset either way. I'll just mock Sony for the rest of their existence,
which may not be very long.
What's that?
Which may not be very long with the way it sounds.
No, they'll be fine. They're just doing crappy things with Spider-Man. Everything else they do is fine. Like PlayStation is holding them up. All the other movies they do are good. So it's not like their whole existence hinges on Spider-Man or not.
No.
But they should just be smarter than that. And be like, okay, we obviously have no idea what to do. So let's just team up. Who cares? But just team up. Anyway, I interrupted your list.
No, it's okay. I'm trying to think of some. I got Spider-Man. I got what else? I got. Oh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. first season.
Cool.
I'll think of it as I go. But one of the things you were talking about surprise gifts. Cindy got me Jim Gaffigan's book that I guess was a bestseller. Dad is Fat.
Yes.
And it's pretty thin, but it's, it could be a quick read. So that wasn't asked for, but that was a surprise. And the other surprise that I got was, at Walmart or Target or wherever, they have those, which is very smart, by the way. Here's 4 movies together for $10, $15.
Yeah.
If they pack them correctly, it's fantastic. I saw they had the Blues Brothers and the Fletch movies together, like that type of thing. Cindy and I were there the other day, like I said, for the kids, and I'm like, look, for the future, just keep these in mind, because I don't have them,
Yeah.
I don't have them on disc. I have them on VHS, which means I don't have them.
Right. There's a lot of stuff I gotta get, at least on DVD, if not Blu-ray. Most of the James Bond series I own on video cassette, and I don't own on DVD at all. So
I just realized a little while ago that I could put James Bond on our logo group.
Yeah, Bond would be good.
So yeah, and the 4 movies that were on there were Super Troopers, which we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
A couple others.
How about Farva on Agent Carter?
Who what now?
Farva from Super Troopers? The big fat one?
Oh, was he the guy in the diner?
Yes.
Alright, I thought he looked familiar.
Yeah.
He didn't have the mustache, so I didn't recognize him.
Right.
So, but the one movie on the 4 discs, she's like, look, I thought, surprise. I'm like, okay, good. I just didn't expect it. So, I have to actually rewatch some of them. But the one that's on there that I haven't seen is a Nick Swartzen movie, or at least he's in it. Grandma's Boy.
You haven't seen Grandma's
I have not seen
it. Boy?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh man. That movie's pretty funny, but I don't know if it's up your alley, but you let me know how you feel about it.
Yeah, it's crass. I know that going into it. I mean, Nick Swartzen's in it, and as much as I like his stand-up, he tends to do crass stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember when that movie was out, I'm like, oh, this could be really funny, and I could see where it's going to cross lines, and I'm going to have to okay, kids won't be watching it with me.
No.
But there are 2 other movies on there that I can't think of what they are. But anyway, that was a surprise. Got some shirts and pants and shoes from, my family and the gift cards. We got a gift card for go to a local restaurant and go to a movie. That was a nice gift.
That's cool.
Yeah. I did well. Oh, until I think of other things. What I did was, I said, okay, well, if I was also given some money from my aunt to spend. So what I did was I took my list and I went, okay, I didn't get this and this and this. I didn't get Captain America Winter Soldier. Ordered that. So I got that. And of course I go through eBay if at all possible.
Okay.
Because it's the cheapest option. Oh, I got some video games. I got, Left 4 Dead 2.
Okay.
What else did I get? I got Batman Arkham Origins that I ordered for myself.
Nice. That I just finished playing that game. I liked it. I liked it a lot. A lot of people have like crapped on it for whatever reason, but I like it. And there are a lot of other critics who say like there's nothing wrong with this game, whatever people are complaining about.
Yeah,
it's good.
The complaint that they said was, well, it's just like Gotham or Batman Arkham City. Okay, well, I'm playing Arkham City now, and I don't care. I'm thrilled.
It's not just like Arkham City. I mean, it takes place in a lot of the same area, but it's obviously pre Arkham City as a jail area.
Right.
But the story's way different, but the gameplay is exactly the same, which if you love the gameplay, then what's to complain about? I don't know.
Exactly. And besides, it's Batman, so I already am in. I ordered and just got The Walking Dead Survival Instinct. It focuses on Daryl Dixon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, yay. That was $3. I didn't really break the bank or anything on these. That was the thing. I would bid on something, and if it's used, so if it went past a certain amount, I'm like, done. Nope, I'll just wait for it to come around again. Because Walmart's selling a lot of their high-end games for like $10, $20. Okay? That's why I got a Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah.
But what else did I order? Oh, two things that were on my list that have been on my list for years. And I'm like, you know what? I'm ordering them now. I've waited. I've been patient. I have the money to get them. I didn't get them for Christmas or my birthday. I got volume 3 and 4 of Batman the Animated Series. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I want to get that too. It's on my list, but I just...
Oh, it's fantastic. And especially if you remember the fourth season or whatever volume, it was when they introduced Nightwing and they got the art to be a lot crisper.
Yeah. So like the new Adventures of Batman?
That's what they called it, yeah. But it's just the continuation of the series.
Right.
So got those, but ordered them for myself and got them from the same dealer for really cheap, unopened. So now that's done. I got some other stuff. I got 11 Columbo movies from the 90s at Walmart for $15.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 6 discs. On one, it's thin, too. They didn't bother to spend a lot of money on the packaging to make it wide and thick and fat. But they're like, boom. I'm like, okay, so all the movies from 91 to 98, okay, blah, 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 blah. That's a good price. I thought I was just getting 1 or 2. It's 11 movies. Done.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I'm thrilled, though. I mean, give me bargains like that. Oh, I made the mistake of stopping by Best Buy. They have complete series of things. I'm like,
oh, really?
Walk away because it wasn't Christmas yet. And I'm like, I'm not tempting myself. They had all of Quantum Leap, all of Columbo, all of, like, you name it, chances are they had it. Some were better priced than others. But anyway,
I didn't even get into. I didn't even consider the idea of what I bought myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I got myself a bunch of cool random toy stuff, but
like what?
I bought. Hold on. Well, I got a lot of the new Batman figures, like the 4-inch line stuff. the Arkham Origins Batman figure, which I love. It's probably my favorite Batman figure.
Is
now.
he stocky looking? Because I've seen, if it's the one I saw at Walmart or Toys R Us or whatever, he looked like he was stocky.
Is it the Origins Batsuit, or was it the Arkham Knight? Because I haven't seen the figures in stores at all, the Arkham Origins Batman at all.
Okay, then it must have been Arkham Knight.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
right? Does his legs and arms look a little thick?
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't know. Proportionately, for me, I like that look. It's aesthetically correct, as opposed to like some of the Marvel Universe figures that are super skinny, and I'm just like, ugh, God,
pop apart.
So, yeah, well, that too. But a lot of them are just too thin, in my opinion. So I got that. That was before Christmas, though, but because I haven't seen them in stores, I was like, I got them on Amazon when they were retail price, and pretty happy with that. I ordered from Chinese eBay. There was a set of the movie Star Turtles. I don't know if you remember from the second Ninja Turtles movie. They were the ones that were a little bit rubbery.
Oh, and they had like the skin, the texture.
Yeah.
Is that the one where there's actually bumps and like circles on them? On their
Yeah.
I love those.
I guess someone in China got the molds, and they've been making sets of the Four Turtles and Splinter and Foot Soldier, and I'd been like waiting, and I finally had like some extra money and stuff because of the holidays, and I ordered a set, and they came, and they're in good condition, but they're not rubbery. They're all plastic. Like they're all the same hard plastic and stuff. So I was a little disappointed because of that, but also it doesn't matter too much. Like they look nice, and I think I'm gonna paint them up and make them look a little bit nicer because they're a little bit bright. But it's just cool because I have the originals still, but like none of them have their belts. The bandanas are broken off. Like they've been played with because I was less than 10 years old when they came out, so they were heavily played with. But I loved them, so I was like, I'm gonna get them, and if I can use them in the animation, I will.
Right. Here's the TARDIS.
I got those. What's that?
Just want to show you. Here's the TARDIS that he got.
Oh, the TARDIS.
Yeah, and that's cool because the doors open up and everything, so you can, put the guys in there. Problem is they only open one way, so he crammed like 4 guys in there, and then we couldn't get them out. Oh, well, live and learn. It worked though. But go ahead.
I got a Millennium Falcon playset that I've wanted since I was probably Mikey's age.
Oh God!
What's that?
I want one too. I've always wanted one.
It was a set that, this might ring a bell to any of the Star Wars collectors out there. It was a set that came out back when the Star Wars figures had just come out. Might have been a year or two later or so. You take it, and it was the interior, or it is the interior of the Millennium Falcon cockpit, and you put it on your keyboard, and you can play. They give you a game with it as well, like a CD-ROM game, and you play a game that coincides with buttons on, they're hidden well, so it doesn't look like it's buttons and stuff, but you press buttons on the console and all around this playset, and it's supposed to activate, guns and other sort of things while you're playing this game. And I'm not ever going to play the game, or I'm never going to put the thing on my keyboard, but I just wanted the playset as the interior of the Millennium Falcon. I've wanted it since I was a child, and I finally found it on Amazon for I think I bought it was $11. When it came out, it was $40 or $50 or something like that. So I was I cannot pass this up. So I just got that recently. I'm going to paint it up a little bit, dirty it up, make it look more real, because it's very plasticky looking right now. But I can't wait to take pictures of the figures with it and stuff like that.
Well, the one that
I got that. I got a couple other random Batman figures that I had wanted. I don't know if you saw the DC Collectibles came out with it, but it was the animated series Batman.
Ooh, okay.
A really articulated one.
Well, that was my question to you. The one from the, the more crisp art with Tim Drake and everything. That one looked like the cape goes over his arms and he's not able to lift his arms.
They give you 2 capes.
Get out of here!
They give you 2 to pose. One goes over his back so that you can move the arms better, and then the other one is for posing him with it like sort of draped over his arms, just in case you want to do that.
I want that now.
They give you like I don't know the count off the top of my head, but a ton of different hands, a ton of different accessories, a stand, the 2 capes, batarangs, the works basically. And it was most people got it for $25. Dave had him for $20, and then whatever discount he gave me, so that was fantastic.
Size?
And I love it. I mean, like, I don't normally collect 6-inch stuff, but
6-inch, okay.
But it's a great figure.
Oh, it looks great. I have a what do you call mannequin, the little statue.
Yeah, the maquette.
Maquette. I didn't know how to pronounce it. I didn't want to sound too stupid, but yeah. And he's standing there, and it's from the Justice League, but it looks pretty much like he looked in the animated series during the 4th.
Yeah, that's the one that you have is from the JLU style. Is that what it is? Justice League Unlimited?
No, I think it was from the original first season of Justice League. It wasn't even as pointy-eared
okay, all right.
As it became. That's what I'm saying. It was like, okay, well, when they molded this, I don't know if they weren't as strict. I don't know. I'll show it to you sometime, but it looks cool and it serves its purpose.
I know what you're talking about. It was like that in between the animated series and then Justice League Unlimited, which is even more like dynamic of an art style, I guess.
Yeah. I remember when they made the ears super long. I'm like, I don't think they needed to do that, but whatever. That's really wasn't what mattered ultimately. Some of the things Mikey got too. He got Deathstroke. Okay. And he got a couple turtle guys too. He got another super villain, but he also got Slash.
Okay.
And Dog Pound when he became his
Razar.
Thank you, Yeah, he got him.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I mean he made out really well. Oh, and with the Millennium Falcon, I thought you were going to say you got the actual giant playset where the lid is the top of the Millennium Falcon and it comes off and.
Oh, I have that already.
I thought you did. I thought I saw it in the background.
Yeah.
Because that's what I've always wanted.
No, but this is like. It's the interior, and it has like the whole dashboard with the 2 seats sitting there, and like there's a walkway and a little gunner station and stuff. Like it's pretty cool.
It's killing.
It's a nice little display piece that I can put Han Solo and Chewbacca on, and or anybody. Like I didn't take any pictures of it, but I had a Batman sitting next to Han Solo, like just looking out the window or whatever. It was pretty cool.
Oh, he got Tiger Claw too, by the way.
Stuff I don't really need, but wanted and bought it for myself.
Sure. Well, like I said, then I don't necessarily feel guilty. There's Tiger Claw. He got Tiger Claw too. You wanted me to show you from the Turtles.
Hi, Mikey.
Hi.
I see you.
But I don't feel too guilty. Once Christmas comes, I'm like, okay, well, I think I'm free, reasonably, to get a couple cheap things.
Yeah.
And once,
Yeah, it's cool. And then, like, cause my birthday, well, your birthday is even closer to Christmas, but it happens before Christmas. Mine happens after.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, I gotta get all this stuff for myself so that everyone knows I got it for myself, and then they can move on to my birthday if they're gonna get me anything. Like, I don't know. I'm getting to that point where I don't even like asking for stuff. I don't know if that happens to people, but like I feel bad. Like I just don't want to ask for stuff. And then I feel bad on the other hand because people are like, we want to buy you something, just tell us what it is. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I'm being difficult. And I'm trying not to be like, trying to be not difficult. Like, I don't know, go just buy me hot wings or something or whatever. I don't care. Like, it's fine. I'll get myself
Well, when's your birthday?
stuff that I want, but I don't know.
When was your birthday?
Valentine's Day.
Oh, it's coming up then.
On Valentine's Day.
I thought I missed it.
Yeah.
Okay. So
No.
I'm pretty on top of my Facebook alerts of, hey, it's such and such's birthday. Because I don't.
Oh, really? Because I never go on Facebook ever.
I know.
I'll get like, I'll check my email and, I'll go and it'll have like, since I have Gmail, it has like the 3 different tabs. One says like primary, one's social, and one's like, stores or whatever. Like, I forget what it's called. Yeah. It basically like all the coupons and stuff you get. And on my social, I'll have like 5 emails from Facebook like, you have notifications pending, and I like let them build up, and then finally I'm like, fine, I'll go see what they are, and it's like, it was people's birthday, and someone liked this picture, and someone did that, and I'll be like, okay, great, awesome. The only time I go to it is if like someone tells me like, hey, I posted this, go look at it, like you, for example.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I have it on my phone that it alerts me, and then I just swipe, look at it, and get, boop, either look at it or just swipe it away. So, okay, I noticed it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So tell me, I've been dying for this. First of all, I want to get into books, but tell me what Batman books you got or bought for yourself.
Okay, well, overall, I could tell you, hold on, I'm going to pull up my list so I don't forget anything, but okay. This is what I got, and between Mara and myself, hold on, I'm waiting for this to pop up. Here we go. I had everything, and I looked it up, because I wanted to read everything chronologically.
Okay.
And not everything, but like what I was interested in, I wanted to read it chronologically. So I got The Man Who Laughs, which was Brubaker, which was great.
This is when he ends up being the Joker. Is that the one?
What's that? It's supposed to be his first interaction with the Joker.
Oh, okay. Yes, that was from Legends of the Dark Knight.
Yes.
Okay.
Then Long Halloween, and Dark Victory would be next, but I couldn't find it anywhere, not even on Amazon, so I skipped it. Went to the Killing Joke, then Death in the Family / what is it? A Lonely Place of Dying.
Oh, that's where he becomes Robin.
Right, it's basically the death of Jason Todd, the start of Tim Drake as Robin.
Okay.
That was all in one book.
Wow, that's cool looking good.
Yeah, and then next would be Nightfall, but I can't find that anywhere, and it's out of stock on Amazon. Then No Man's Land, which has like 8 volumes, and I'm not ready to purchase all that yet, so...
Right.
I'll get to those 2 at some point, and now I'm just starting Hush.
Okay.
I got Hush, Under the Red Hood, and Birth of the Demon, and those are the next 3 I have to read.
Did you read Under the Red Hood?
But I'm starting right now. What's that?
Did you read Under the Red Hood?
No, not yet.
Oh.
It comes after Hush, so I'm reading it chronologically.
Okay.
And then I want to get all the movies, the animated versions, and watch them.
Okay, smart. Good way to do it. Huh. Oh, that's a good list.
Yeah, and then I might do Batman and Son and Batman R.I.P., and then to that point, I'm caught up. Like, everything after Batman R.I.P., I have in book form.
Yeah, and then you pretty much got all the essentials, I think.
Yeah, there's a couple of others maybe here or there. Like, I wanted to, the other, like, villain origin stories, and I didn't read the Jason Todd origin story, which I would have liked to do. I should do like Batman, or I should do Year One and 0 Year. I should read Batgirl Year One, Robin Year One.
Definitely, without a doubt, definitely. Oh, so, speaking of Hush, that was the other villain I couldn't think of that Santa got him.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hush. So there you go, buddy.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yes, definitely. They're fantastic. That's Scott Beatty who wrote those.
Yeah, everything I've read so far was pretty good. A Death in the Family and Lonely Place of Dying took me longer to get through because it was those typical like 80s style books that I have trouble getting through.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else was like, even if it was written in the same era, it didn't feel like it was the same era. Like Long Halloween, for example, was not, I don't know, it just didn't feel like an 80s book.
No, I gotcha.
The Man Who Laughs, I think, came out a lot more recently, so that was easier to get through. Killing Joke, obviously, is a much different type of story as well, so much easier to get through.
Yeah, that was a quick
in Hush, I'll probably fly through, even though it's a gigantic book. I can't wait to get to it, like get through it. Even though I know the outcome, like I know who Hush is and stuff, like it's not even a surprise to me, but I still want to read like that first appearance type deal.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's so well done that I was rereading it recently, and I'm like, boy, this is art-wise, I think it's Jim Lee's best, because before that, I didn't like it. I mean, he was good. He was a good penciler, but when he was doing X-Men, everybody, I don't know, they were all bulky and just too much. It was that Todd McFarlane in your face, influence. I thought, no, I don't. Yuck. And then
the Hush edition that I have has like a foreword from Jeff Loeb, who wrote it, obviously. And it talked a lot about how Jim Lee is good, but he owes a lot to his inker, who he's worked with for a long time, and then also the color artist that he also picked. And I think that's like I've said this before about like John Romita Jr. Like I like his stuff, but he needs someone who knows how to ink it. If he doesn't have someone who inks well or knows how to work with his style, it looks like crap. It just kind of looks like, I mean, crap is relative, but like, it can look amazing or it can look meh. And a lot of the stuff he's been doing recently, I feel, is just kind of like meh. Jim Lee, this book specifically, whoever he has picked to ink his stuff and color his stuff makes it look like every page is a poster, basically. Yeah. It's awesome.
It's cool. It's cool.
But yeah, before that, like, all the stuff that I see, especially like posters or just like, screen caps of pages and stuff, the X-Men Jim Lee stuff, it feels very light.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense, like the pen is very light and
yeah, well,
it kind of comes off as hollow almost.
And also,
so while the pencil work is really good, the finished product feels like, it looks like it could be better. So I don't know. Maybe he just didn't have the same inker yet. He didn't find the inker he liked to work with or the color artist or whatever, but.
Well, he also, I mean, there's one particular Batman drawing that I've seen where he's so bulky.
Yeah.
It was that 90s influence of, bigger is better, blah, blah, blah. But even like his arms are just, it was off. And it's a terrible, terrible piece. And I thought, man, if that's your Batman, then no thank you. And then this came out. I'm like, oh, this is excellent. I'm a Jim Lee fan.
Right. But, yeah, it's sometimes it's just like the right confluence of things, all coming together at exactly the right moment.
How are you liking Spidey-verse?
Oh, I love it.
It's
crazy.
Really
crazy.
I couldn't wait to tell you. I mean, I'm an issue or two behind because I'm reading digitally and I gotta catch up. Like I've made myself read my books in order with the way they lay out. Like I'm reading a Doctor Who now from 2 weeks ago, and then there's other titles, so I'm not going, wait a minute, where's Spidey-verse? I gotta find it. Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
There. I just get to it when I get to it.
Okay.
But, yeah, I love it too. I'm thrilled to be able to, get a Spider-Man story that I'm like, ooh, this is fun, and this is, it's really emphasizing the Spider-Man qualities. You know what I mean? Like, it's letting him, if Batman's in a room, he's going to probably stand in the room.
Yeah.
And be intimidating. If Spider-Man's in the room, he's going to cling to a wall or hang upside down.
Yeah.
That's, when they have Spider-Man standing still, I'm like, nope. All right. We've seen them. Thank you. When they always have him standing still, it doesn't feel, he should feel like he needs to cling to stuff and be more Spider-ish. And like even in the logo thing that I'm drawing, I'm going to have Spider-Man hanging upside down in it.
Right.
So the writing is fun and it feels epic. And it's that whole different universe. Wow, this guy's meeting this version. And, I love that crap. So it would have been pretty hard for them to mess it up in my view.
Yeah, it's very cool, and not to mention, like, one of my favorite artists is drawing it. It's I believe it's Olivier Coipel. I'm never certain how to say his name, but he's the main artist on it, and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely a gorgeous book series. At least the main Spider-Man title, like whatever's happening in Amazing Spider-Man. I've been reading some and the side stuff's cool too.
Yeah, I've been reading some of those too, like the Spider-Man team-ups.
Yeah, the only ones I read I believe the only one I picked up was Scarlet Spiders, because I love Scarlet Spider.
Is that good? Because I want to get it.
I love it. I think it's awesome, yeah.
Okay.
But I love anything with Kane, who was just he still is Scarlet Spider, but I think he's awesome, so... Right. And the other ones are very cool too. Ben Reilly, Spider-Man, is in it, and it's funny. I mean, it's really funny. And then I think the last one is whoever Miles Morales' clone is. Yes. I don't know, because I didn't read the Ultimate, but those three are together, and there's 2 issues of the book so far, and their interactions with each other, because Ben is a lot like Peter. Kane is like the brooding, like I hate everything sort of character, and then I'm not certain about Gwen. She's just kind of like the straight man, sort of like you guys are both idiots sort of thing, and like their interaction is fantastic. It's well worth the read, and the way that they work together as a team is really cool too, and it's something that like at the end of the day, if they all survive this sort of like Spider-Apocalypse ordeal, I hope that that's a book. It's a team book, the Scarlet Spiders or whatever. Like, I'm really, really enjoying it.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Like, as we're talking, I'm ordering Scarlet Spiders because that was the one that I didn't get yet. Because I thought, well, let me wait in here because I'm getting them. I got the Spider-Man team up.
Yeah.
Which I'm typically loving. The one that's called Spider-verse, I think it's like an offshoot of the actual Amazing Spider-Man title. That was okay. But okay, so I'm ordering these 2.
I don't think I picked up any more than just the regular Spider-Man stuff and the Scarlet Spiders.
Because that's the thing about, I always complain about Marvel is, you like this? Good. We're going to saturate the market with every version
of this.
That's all. So I'm like...
Yeah, well, and the thing is, sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the spin-off books are awesome and they really enhance everything, and sometimes they don't. I think it all depends on how well the writers collaborate with each other. I think that's a huge part of it. And Dan Slott, I feel like, really gives everybody a lot to work with, but also says, here's the ultimate goal and this is what we need.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Scarlet Spiders books, it kind of does have a huge impact on what's going on, and what will happen, basically. The rest of them, I don't know. I haven't read Spider-Woman, or any of the other things yet. And then, obviously, I might not even get to them because the event will be over in not too much more time, so we'll see.
Which is a shame because the last time I read Spider-Man that I really enjoyed it was during the Kraven, The Hunt, where he came back to life.
Oh, yeah, that's a while ago.
Right. And so, I'm thrilled that I can enjoy it. Because other than that, I've been reading Ultimate Spider-Man, which is Miles Morales. And it's great, but it's not.
You picked Spider-Man back up when Peter came back, right?
I didn't. No.
Oh, you didn't?
Because...
you would like that.
Would I? I don't know. I remember reading about it, and I listened to Comic Vine, and they were like, oh, it's great, and then they were telling me some of the story, and I'm like, well, I really wasn't invested with most of the Doc Ock thing. I got the Doc Ock team up when Daredevil and the Punisher were part of it. And I know what happened with Doc Ock. I know how, his grasp exceeded his reach. He messed things up, blah, 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 blah. And then it sounded like a lot of what Peter Parker was dealing with when he came back was, okay, now here's your clean up, which sounds promising. Your clean up of what you didn't know. This relationship is messed up. This person you're dating. Oh, by the way, you have your own science lab. I don't know. It sounded like a lot of too much for me to dive into. Does that make sense?
I guess.
I don't know. I mean, what sell me on it? What do you think?
It was just it felt like classic Spider-Man, which is what I thought it would be. And the reason that they did the whole Doc Ock thing in the first place was everything seems to be going so well for Spider-Man for the most part. Let's throw a wrench in the gears, and when he finally comes back out on the other end, everything's messed up again, and it's not even his fault, and he has to fix it, but no one lets him or whatever. No one wants to even hear him because he's always ruining stuff. And it did. It felt a lot like how Peter's life should be, which is hectic, out of control. He doesn't know how to fix it, and yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it is. And then the character that they created, Silk, that's interesting. That kind of leads and ties right into the Spider-Verse stuff. And
yeah, explain that one to me, because I'm picking up the idea when I'm reading Spider-Verse now, where they're like, oh yeah, she got bit by the same spider that Peter did.
Yes.
So
she got, well, like you just said, she got bit by the same spider that Peter did on the same day, and she was picked up by, I forget who the character is, but one of the, I don't remember who it is, but she's been in captivity almost her whole life.
That was my
because
question.
If she got free, Morlun would find her, like, instantly, and everything would go to hell. So she got free, and then basically that sort of, like, kicked the Spider-Verse thing into overdrive. Like, Peter set her free. And she's, like, she's just about as powerful as Peter, if not more powerful in certain ways. I think she's faster, for certain. And she's cool, and they also have, like, this, when they're around each other, they have this animal magnetism where, like, as soon as they're near each other, they basically start making out and stuff. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I say it's worth reading, especially if you like what he's doing with Spider-Verse. Everything since Peter got back into his own body led up to it, so it's worth reading. But I mean, if you don't feel like going backwards, then
maybe I will. I'll keep it in my mind. Just I'm in the mood to read Peter Parker now, and I don't have any options unless it's that title.
I'm sure you could always get a trade or something too.
I enjoyed Gwen Stacy's one shot.
Okay.
Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
And of course they're going to make that a title, so I don't know how long that'll stay good, but there's potential. That could be good.
Yeah.
It's great when I see a lot of these different versions of Spider-Man that I'm like, ooh, okay, so they have his potential daughter from the alternate timeline.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. They have him with the cosmic powers. That was cool because I remember I was just starting to read Spider-Man when I was 15 when that story happened.
The cosmic Spidey?
The cosmic thing. It was the villains crossover where different villains were trying to take down the other villains' heroes for them.
Okay.
And during it, you're like, okay, whoa. Spider-Man's fighting the dragon, the gray dragon character who's so powerful the Hulk has trouble beating him. And Spider-Man knocks him across the river, and the dragon guy breathes fire on him, and you think, oh, he's toast, he's dead. But now he's fine. Well, it turns out that Captain Universe power, the idea of that power is it jumps from one person to another when they need it. It just kind of goes through the universe. Well, what they didn't tell you is that it hit Peter, but he didn't know it yet, and in the end, the outfit's on him, but he still has his mask on, so he has that web over his nose and mouth area.
Yeah.
And it was cool to see that version come back, and I like the twist where, on my universe, I have all the power, but if I go through this portal and go to yours, I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
That was smart. I thought that was good writing. Otherwise, he could just go clean up everybody's problem right away.
Right. Well, it's logical. It makes logical sense.
Yeah. What other titles are you reading?
Same stuff I've been reading, basically. I'm trying to... I just picked up Ant-Man #1 that came out this week.
Tell me how that was, because that's expensive and I didn't buy it.
It was good. It was fun in the same way like Daredevil and Hawkeye has been fun. Although I think Hawkeye's done. I haven't seen a new issue of that in months, I believe.
I still have to catch up.
I mean, Fraction's been... I knew he was done with it, but I thought there was going to be like a final issue, and I don't think there has been.
Really?
I'll have to look into that, though. So, yeah, that was fun because it's Scott Lang. They're doing it, obviously, to coincide with the movie coming out and get that sort of jump-started, and it was good. So there was that. What else? Is there anything else that...
Well, it's funny because I want to read it, but again, when I looked at the price, I'm like, I'm not trying it for the $5 they want us to spend on it.
Was it $5?
I can tell you right now. Give me 2 seconds. It wasn't the price. Yeah, $4.99. I'm looking right at it. $4.99.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh well, whatever. It wasn't a big week when it came out. I think it was only like 3 books that I got or something.
Mm-hmm. Are you reading?
Maybe not. But anyway, I mean, there's that. That was good. Batman Eternal is still awesome. That's
Isn't
my favorite.
it?
That's probably my favorite book that I read and it's every week, and it's my favorite book. I just think it's really, really good.
I've really gotten used to just enjoying the heck out of that title. Like that's, it started off kind of, okay, it's interesting.
Yeah.
And the rotating art or the focus is hit and miss, but overall I'm like, yep, they really have an idea. Unlike the New 52 Futures End, I don't know if you're reading it.
No, I'm not.
Don't bother.
Okay.
It's some storylines are good, but the majority of them, you're like, I don't care. I don't care about these characters.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it might be like Flashpoint, where in the end you go, oh, holy crap, this became something bigger than what I thought, and there's your payoff. But the journey has not been, like I said, I'm not recommending it.
Yeah.
And they're at issue 35 now. I mean, they have Batman Beyond in it, which is cool, but he's not in every issue.
Yeah.
So you're just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, for me personally, the rotating art on Batman Eternal has been more hit than miss. I would say there's every 5 or 6 issues, there might be one artist that I'm like, eh. But I don't hate it. I just am like, whatever. But I think whatever artists they have on it have fit the tone well.
Yes.
Overall, so. There's
one artist, and I can't think of what his name is, but boy, so detailed and just so dead on. I love it.
And I was talking to Mara about this not too long ago, about how the rotating art hasn't hindered my enjoyment of the book. 'Cause sometimes it will, but I think maybe part of it is like, it does come out every week. It's not like, oh, we by accident missed a week or something like that. Like, it's out every week, and it's good. Like, the storytelling is good, and the art is consistent enough and in the same vein enough that it doesn't bother me.
Right.
And it's just really, really good. So, I mean, besides Spider-Man being awesome, Daredevil continues to still be
so good. Awesome. Honest to God. So, just, man, I know they're leaving the book, and that scares the crap out of me.
Yeah.
They have the perfect balance of dark and swashbuckly.
Yeah.
That's a word. So yeah, how do you like the current storyline in Batman and Robin? Y'all caught up?
Oh yeah, Robin came back. Oh yeah, I bought that. I bought Robin Rises Alpha.
Nice.
I was excited about that because I like Damian Wayne. That's no secret. I've said it a million times. Whatever people want to feel about that is up to them, but I think he's a good character. He's the honest to goodness natural choice to be Robin. Who could be more of Robin than the person who's supposed to be Batman's son?
Right.
So there's that. But I love the Bat family, and the issue of Batman and Robin where it ended with, them finally resurrecting. Spoilers for those people who aren't reading it or whatever, but that, and then leading into Robin Rises Alpha, just like the teamwork with the whole Bat family plus Batman was heartwarming. I loved it.
The only criticism I have, and that this is not the writer's fault, it's the DC editorial thing, Nightwing should have been there. That's
of course.
But of course they gotta make him be super spy or whatever the crap that is. I can't read that anymore.
No, I never even picked up Grayson #1 because I don't want it. No one asked for it. I don't know who was like, what'd be great is if Dick Grayson had nothing to do with Batman ever again, or no more for a while or whatever. Like, who cares? Like, what's the?
That's well said.
Literally, it's going to be one of those books that, because it has no bearing on anything important in the whole DC universe, or at least the mainline DC universe, it'll get dropped and he'll just show up back as Nightwing one day and it'll be like, hey, how did that thing go? And he'll be like, that was kind of a waste of time, and they'll write it off, and it's like, why even bother? What is the point of not having Dick as Nightwing right now?
Right.
I don't understand it, and that, you're right, that is a criticism, and an important one.
And it felt so lacking. It stood out to me because I'm like, this is the big thing. Remember when they had them all get together and all right, let's have our talk that we're supposed to have.
Yeah.
Are we done with this crap now? Are you going to be honest with us? Yes, I swear it. I promise, and I messed up. Please forgive me. And they all take off their masks, and it's a big bonding moment, and it really made everybody feel, like you said, more like a family, as it should. Yeah. And then Nightwing isn't there. They leave, and they have Dick Grayson show up and have the same conversation, but he's not part of the group, and he wasn't there for the big battle.
Right.
I mean, you're right. I never asked for something other than Nightwing. Give us our Nightwing.
It was just like I said, even before the book came out, it's like, hey, who could we make be like the Winter Soldier, since that was doing so great for Marvel and they had the movie? Well, it should be Dick Grayson, obviously, because Batman is the Captain America of DC, and vice versa, and there he is now. Dick Grayson's the super spy. Who gives a crap? Right. I don't know. No. Why would you ever do that? Just let him be Nightwing.
Yep. And it's also, The Robin, with one exception, every Robin now serves its purpose. There's Damian, who I've grown to love through the years, and especially the way they've lightened him up and had him mature, and the loving relationship between him and Bruce.
Right.
That's what sells me. That writing is brilliant. Mm-hmm. You got Red Hood, the disobedient son, but yet still loves his father, and that's, always a work in progress, blah, 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 blah. Then you have the oldest son, who is the example for everybody, who's Dick Grayson as Nightwing. Mm-hmm. Tim Drake, as much as I loved him before the New 52, there's no point to him now. I don't like him. He's not even the same character. If you have read any of him since the New 52, I don't know why DC decides to, we're not going to have him interact with Batman most of the time. Well, yeah. Okay, then, and he's not even as charming and great as he was before the New 52. So he's pointless. He's he's not even Robin now. He's Red Robin.
Yeah.
Just make him go away then. Like I said when they started the New 52, I thought they either need to get rid of him or they need to get rid of Damian. Well, Damian has more than proved himself as a great Robin, even if he's a stubborn, troublemaking jerk. Story-wise, he's great. He's that great catalyst.
Yeah.
Well,
the thing about Tim is I like Tim, and the way you're saying like the Bat family falls into the different categories where like, Dick is basically Bruce Light. That's what he is. He's the oldest. He learned directly from Batman. He's probably got the most directly in common with Bruce, and that's why he was Batman and Bruce was dead and whatever else. So that makes sense. Then you've got, like you said, Jason Todd, second Robin, the rebellious one. He's still there. He's still part of the family, but he's doing his own thing. Then Tim is like, he's there of his own accord. And I think that's what you're saying is like, he might be insignificant to the Bat family as a whole because like, since I just read his origin, this is really fresh in my mind, but he's so smart that, he's the only person who basically figured out about Bruce and Dick being Batman and Robin. Right. He kind of got himself in there of his own accord, and then now he's on his own of his own accord. Like, he doesn't have to be part of the Bat family. He could be on his own as a separate thing and still be useful.
Exactly.
But I feel like he probably feels sort of like not responsible, like I guess, yeah, maybe a responsibility to be there because he's the voice of reason, because he's kind of just the logical, smart one, whereas like the rest of them allow their feelings to really dictate everything. So he's that pin. He's like the middle child, one of the middle children of the whole thing.
Right.
And then obviously Damian's there as the ultimate what should be Robin is Batman's son, basically. Or I guess I should say child. Like if it was a girl, it would probably be just as cool. But
when they originally, I read a thing yesterday, and it basically backed up what I said before the New 52. They were saying who's the best Robin out of all, and it was Tim Drake. He was everything. He was a great fighter. And brilliant detective. He was a better detective than, the other Robins. And he was smart enough to figure out Bruce's identity, and he made himself Robin, which is everything you said.
Yeah.
Well, they've ruined it, like you pointed out too, with this New 52, where he's not needed. You don't feel like, all right, make him be Cosmos, the guy. Tim Drake goes by a new identity and it has nothing to do with Batman then. because he's not needed, and so you feel that every time you see him. And also the way that they're writing him is, I'm so clever, I'm on my own, I've got my Teen Titans. Well, then get rid of him. Make somebody else be that exact same character, but free him up from the expectation of a Bat Family character.
Yeah. Well, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that they're still building this back up, which is what it seems like they're doing in Batman Eternal anyway.
Yes.
I hope they'll bring Dick back and then it'll all kind of work out. I mean, Batman Eternal sort of turned into, if you go back to whatever episode of ours it is that we talked about this when the book came out, this is months and months ago now, it did turn out to be exactly like what I had hoped for, which is like Batman, the Avengers, like it focuses on the Bat Family in spurts and teams or brings them all together and stuff like that. It's exactly kind of what I wanted it to be. So while I think that they've not necessarily done a lot of really great stuff with Tim, overall, I hope that they will do something to make him feel important. Because I do feel like he should be there. He's part of it. And because they didn't just go, Tim Drake never existed when they did the New 52 after Flashpoint, he's still there. So they just need to do something to make him
matter.
Should be there. Important and worthwhile.
Yeah. What about how are you enjoying the Joker story?
The end game is it's interesting so far.
Yeah, apparently Scott Snyder said there was this story I've always had but was never allowed to do, and they gave me the okay. So I'm like, okay, if I had to do one Joker story, this is it, because he doesn't plan on writing him again.
Okay.
And so far I'm like, I love it as always, but boy, they really surprise you at the end of every issue. Like this last one, ooh, I don't know where they're going with that. And
I forget what the end of the last issue was.
Somebody picks up the phone and says, hi, Bruce. So it's a close-up of somebody's teeth talking into the phone. So it looked like it would be the Joker who knows that it's Batman.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But the way that, and I love this, they explained before with the previous Joker story that the Joker doesn't care who Batman is. Bruce Wayne walked right up to him and gave him an opportunity just to see if he knew, and he didn't even care. He doesn't. So I don't think it's the Joker doing that, but it's either that or it looks like it could be Commissioner Gordon.
Right.
Yeah, I don't. Ugh. And the whole thing with him being in the pictures for like 100 years in the past, how did that happen?
I don't know, and that's it's kind of nuts.
Right?
Kind of nuts.
Man.
I'm intrigued. Yeah, it's well written and it's like a Batman story should be, which Batman should generally be a mystery type story because he's a detective and you want to be just as not lost like to the point where you're confused, but like intrigued by the story as he is trying to solve it. And this feels a lot like that. But we talked about it before, like Batman is the best parts of action, adventure, sci-fi, horror, and mystery all wrapped in one. Yeah. At least ideally that's what it should be.
Yep.
But if you take the best parts of his chronology, that is what it is. Just like really well done mishmash of every sort of genre.
Yeah. I agree. And martial arts.
Now I'm excited. Everything that I'm reading is good. The only thing that's like tough is Avengers, because it's such a weird storyline that Jonathan Hickman's doing right now, and I'm sure it'll pay off and be cool at the end of it, but it feels like muddied right now, but like I said, it'll probably be worthwhile overall.
Yeah,
everything else is fun though. Turtles is good.
It's so funny. All of the what do you call it? Big events from Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm really glad unless you can sway me the other way, I'm really glad I haven't been reading them. Because
yeah, Axis was meh.
Yeah, I heard that.
What was the one before that?
Exactly.
I read it. Original Sin. Original Sin was good. But it's like, the problem with some event books is, like, Original Sin, the end game of that means something. Like, it affects the characters going forward, even if it's just some of them for a short period of time and some of them for a long period of time, or ultimately overall. It affects them, and it meant something, and the ride was interesting and good. Axis was just, it felt like a filler event, and I hate that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, like, even the effects that have been done to some of the characters that are gonna come out of the book and go forward into other stories, you know it's gonna be reversed eventually.
Right.
Probably sooner rather than later. And, it's one of the pointless things, you know, like, and the overall ride was just kind of, it felt contrived, so it was like, meh. So some of their event things are hit or miss. And yeah, some of them I'm like, at the end of them I'm like, I wish I didn't buy that. And, Axis was like that.
Well,
but I mean, Avengers is its own thing entirely. Like, I think this is all going to lead up to Secret Wars or whatever that's happening this year.
Sure.
And this has been going on for like a year and a half now that Jonathan Hickman's been writing it. So, like, this should be a really, really huge and important event overall. So hopefully it will be good.
Yeah, you reading Iron Man? I am.
What's that?
I've been reading this new run of Iron Man.
Superior Iron Man, where he's bad?
Yeah.
No, I haven't read it.
I'm
just sick of them doing it with Iron Man.
Me too.
It's been done. Like, okay, he's been a jerk. He's been pseudo-evil. Now you made him, like, actually evil because of what the Red Skull did or whatever. Like, I'm just sick of it at this point. So I felt no need to really read it.
Yeah, I'm reading it because Daredevil's in it.
Okay.
But they're really kind of mistreating Daredevil. Like, when you read Daredevil, the writer, you know, they obviously know his boundaries and they write within them, and it's fantastic. They bring out the best. In Superior Iron Man, they're making Iron Man just so powerful. He grabs Daredevil and just chucks him off a roof.
Yeah.
Like, really? Really?
I did see that. That happened in one of the Axis books.
Which is what it was. They wrote the same thing twice.
Okay.
You know, they're like, look, he's here, and then, look, okay, Daredevil's here, push him off the edge. Really? Really?
Well, I mean, Iron Man is super powerful, like, in comparison to Daredevil, I guess, but I would say, like, that's more of Daredevil not really putting up a fight.
Which was my...
Because I don't think he knew Tony was, turned, basically, like, inverted is what they keep saying.
Yeah, well, in the book, they make it look like, here's Daredevil walking up and saying, hey, I got a problem with you, and Iron Man he's not even in his armor.
Yeah.
Just grabs him and throws him, like, okay, I think about when they write Daredevil, it's like, ooh, I could feel his blood pressure rising, ooh, I could feel his bones, his bones or his muscles are starting to tighten, he's reaching out for me. You got a master martial artist, you think he'd at least block some punches and be able to physically, fight him until he armors up or whatever. In this case, he just grabs him by the throat and chucks him. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's me
nitpicking.
I think
the idea is, like, didn't Tony created some sort of whatever, like an app or whatever that makes you genetically superior or something like that, right? Yes. Is that the point of the book? So maybe it's just like one of those things where Tony knows who Daredevil is already, so he knows how to outwit his radar sense and was able to overcome him in that way.
I would have appreciated if they had said that. That would have been...
What's that?
I would have appreciated if they had actually addressed that, because the way they write it, looks like it's completely like, one-sided. Oh, stupid Daredevil.
Yeah. No, I get you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to come up with the logical explanation for it, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Which is better than what was read.
Right.
I don't know. I'm trying. Did you read Shield?
Yes.
I haven't gotten to it yet, but I bought it.
Okay. It's good. It's cool.
Nice.
It's a very cool way of bringing the show into the MCU. Although the characterizations of some of the show characters are slightly different, but their handling of Coulson and where he fits in and why he's important is really good and interesting. Obviously, Skye is not in the book because, as we just found out, you watched the last episode.
Oh, yeah.
Skye is obviously Daisy Johnson, a.k.a. Quake.
Mm-hmm.
And in the current Marvel universe, she is in the Winter Soldier book. So she's not part of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. team. Currently, that might change, but...
Right. Well, that's cool. How did you like Agent Carter?
It was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm with you. I for a character who, during the Captain America movie, I'm like, oh, you little snot, you need to be smacked. To what they did with her, I'm like, okay, I like her. They made her much more well-rounded and believable in her abilities.
Right.
Even when she jumps on the top of the car as it's going, I'm like, no. The way they filmed that, I'm like, I buy it.
Yeah. Well, not to mention, like, cars back then never went that fast anyway to begin with. Like,
right.
Right.
Cool. The pacing of it all was...
I never felt...
Yeah?
Yeah.
You said you never felt? I think there's a delay.
I never felt like watching Captain America. What's that?
I was just gonna say I think there's a delay with our recording. It's not nothing you're doing. It's just for whatever reason it's coming through a couple seconds later. So for anybody who's listening and there's a pause, sorry.
That's okay.
But go ahead.
I never felt like she was annoying or anything in the first Avenger, because in that sort of time period, it makes more sense that she would have to be the way that she was, as like, I guess, domineering and sort of with an attitude and like an arrogance, because in that time period, especially, guys would have been like, who do you think you are? Shut up. Why are you even here? Blah, blah, blah. Woman this, woman that. Like, especially, it would have been, like, immaculately sexist back then. So her portrayal or whatever didn't bother me. A character portrayal like that, or not even character portrayal, just people who act like that in present day bothers me.
Sure.
It's kind of like, stop it. You don't have to be that aggressively feminist.
Right.
It's unnecessary. Back then, I think it was necessary, but today, I think it's not so much. But, that being said, I think that the way that they have written her for this show, has been awesome.
Me too.
And they have been handling the idea of sexism in the world, fairly. They're not, for a Disney-run show on primetime like ABC, I'm kind of shocked that they show it kind of as intensely as they do. Obviously, like, they skip out on, like, slurs necessarily, although they did have her roommate go like, oh, Samantha, she's a slut. I thought that was really funny, but, like, it surprised me. It took me back a little bit, but I just think overall they've handled the writing especially with her, but just everything else too, really, really well.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the rest of the show. My parents watched it and they loved it. They were like, that show was so good. And I'm like, yeah, you should be watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. too. It's really good. But my parents, it was funny. I told Mara too. I didn't watch it the night it was on because I was waiting for Mara to watch it. She was working on the Tuesday that it was on. And my dad I had called me up and he's like, this show, like Tony Stark, right? And Captain America, and like he starts rattling off all these like characters and stuff that he saw from like the movies and things like that. I'm like, yes, like Tony Stark's dad and Stark Industries, and they started S.H.I.E.L.D. and that's what this show is basically about. Like, oh my god, it was like when a child reads a book for the first time and like everything comes together and they're trying to like explain to you that they get it, that it makes sense, but also wanting you to confirm that it makes sense.
Right.
That's
Love that. That's cool.
Basically with my parents.
Well, Cindy, Mikey fell asleep within the first 5 minutes because he just didn't have a nap, and he comes up as soon as his head goes on my chest. I'm like, oh, he's out.
Yeah.
So he had to rewatch it. Well, Cindy was like, I don't know if I really want to watch this. I don't know. Let me know if it's any good, and if it is, then I'll watch it. And so now they were re-airing it last night.
Okay.
She was going to watch it on demand, but I'm like, ooh, it's on. So she watches it, and I come down when it's over. I said, so? She goes, yep, I'm hooked. I love it. It's great. Love it. And because, to be fair, the promos that they showed for it don't sell it.
Right.
Look, it's from S.H.I.E.L.D., it's Agent Carter, and it just shows her running around and maybe punching somebody, maybe shooting a gun, but other than that, you're like, and? If I wasn't a comic book guy, I don't know how much I would be thinking this was anything. Well, she loved it. I said, right, isn't it fantastic? And one of the things that she pointed out that I love was, they said, boy, she's built like a woman. She's built like an actual woman. She's not a Barbie doll.
Right.
She's not trying to be a big, high fashion model. She's built like a woman, and built like a woman of that time.
Yes.
Which I'm like, absolutely, she's real. She's, Haley Atwell is the actress.
Yes.
That's true. It's that whole Kate Winslet thing. Everybody's like, but she's not dressed. She doesn't act like a Barbie doll. Yeah, she's real. She's beautiful because she's natural.
Yes.
And just the way everything was filmed with her, I believed all her action scenes. I believed it all. There was no point where I went, oh, come on, you're asking me to suspend my, disbelief here. I'm like, no, there's a flow to it. You know what I mean? When you see a good action movie and you're like, a perfect example, as stupid as it sounds. Mortal Kombat, when I rewatch it now, as cornball as it is, you're like, no, it has a feel to the action sequences. It's got its own, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if a movie,
well, like the original Turtles movie.
Yes, that too. It's got its own. You believe it because it falls within this parameter.
Yeah.
Whoever the directing is did. My mind's racing for other ones too. Which
it's the thing about Carter, like any of the best action movies, or at least the ones that you can watch over and over again because you get lost in them, forgetting that they're films, it wasn't over edited. The easiest way to lose believability of fight scenes and action scenes in a movie is to over edit them to the point where you can't even see anybody, and because you can't see anybody, that it's not, for a fact that it's not the person that's playing the role doing the fight. Once you lose that instantly, like with the cut, punch, cut, move, and you know it's not the people because they're cutting it so much, you just kiss the movie goodbye. Throw it away, even. Like, Bourne did it well, and because you know Matt Damon did pretty much all the fight scenes and stuff, and he could get away with it. But, like, everything else, no. And, like, I'm sure Haley Atwell didn't do some of the fighting, but they cut it in a way where, like, you weren't lost. And she did some of it, so it's like, they worked it well together, and that's why it works. And hopefully it'll stay that way about it. I can't see why it wouldn't.
I'll give you two great examples as far as fighting goes. Back in up to the 90s, all the fight scenes in most movies were great because they backed off on the camera. And they let the guys actually do some moves, bop, 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 before they changed camera angle. Great example of how it's done now, Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Worst example, Daredevil with Ben Affleck. That was coming out of that theater. That's what I had a problem with. And looking back on it, I'm like, man, those fights were probably fan-freaking-tastic. You know. Oh, by the way, hey, March is when the Daredevil show comes out.
Yes, and I'm very excited for
Holy crap, yeah. As long as they put him in a decent outfit by the end of it. He's wearing the black training outfit beforehand.
Yeah. I
just hope they give him... They have to do the red outfit. And with
why would they not?
I know. I know. It's just I haven't seen any pictures from it yet to confirm it, except for like some sketches that they've thought of, and all the sketches I've seen are showing the little D's up on the pec, which they did with the movie, and I hated that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great symbol. Let it be dead center on his chest.
Well, I mean, the other, like, I'm not super concerned about it because, first of all, it's Marvel making it. They're not gonna blow it. And every time so far they have had characters upgrade their outfits. So at some point it'll be the DD that, like, we know and love right in the center of the chest. I would even think it was awesome if they did the black and yellow for a little bit too. Like, I'd be cool with that. I love that outfit.
As long as they end up with the red, I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
They can use a bunch of them, you know, let them try out some stuff, but that's great. And they're doing apparently they're working on Back to the Future 2 shoes.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Nike, I just posted on our page that there's a commercial for it. They're actually working. They said this year Nike will have the Back to the Future 2 sneakers.
With the power laces.
With the power laces.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That's crazy.
Right? This is the year. This is when we're supposed... Oh, and they are working on a hoverboard.
Oh, cool.
I mean, they actually officially said, yes, they showed a video of them working on it. That they're just about there, and they plan on releasing it this year. So I'm like, wow, you're right at the deadline of what all of us have been waiting for. Back to the Future.
Arbitrarily, because someone made a movie about it. Yep. You now have a deadline.
You have a deadline. We want our hoverboards. You said 2015. I don't care about the goofy outfits. That can all be explained away. But darn it, give us our hoverboards. I'm telling you, I've wanted that ever since. I'm 40 years old, but I'd still buy a hoverboard if they had one. I guess we should wrap it up, though.
Yeah, probably. It's getting to that point.
Yeah, and you know what? As soon as we hang up, as always, I'll think of other stuff. But
yeah.
You know, in the meantime, though, everybody please like our page. I'm putting it on Twitter. I'm, making sure. Anytime I post something now on Facebook or Twitter, I'll attach, something of maybe it's a picture of the new logo just to keep it fresh in people's minds.
Yeah. But
somebody just posted something on Twitter under hashtag recommendations was my page because of our podcast.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so thank you to Leanne Mako who just did that. That was very sweet.
Nice.
All right, and as always, keep the comments and questions and art and everything else coming. You know, anything coming up with you that you want to promote?
Not currently. I have a couple ideas for YouTube shows that I'm gonna work on doing outlines for and stuff like that I'm gonna try to get out this year. But we'll see. 'Cause there's a lot of stuff going on, so we'll see. We'll see what I have time for.
Any closer to doing the new episode of Action Features?
Not yet. Not until I'm not so crazy busy with work. That's the biggest update. And like I said in the last episode, I just don't want to half-ass it and not have it. Are you
working outside?
What's that?
Are you working outside?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, inside and outside, but like,
ugh.
some outside stuff.
Man, God love you. I have to walk outside to like run from one building to another during the week.
Yeah.
And even that is just the wind in your face. I'm like, oh God, I hate this.
Yeah. So like what usually ends up happening is like every injury that I have hurts twice as bad and just makes me that much more tired and last longer.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. There's just other stuff I have to focus on currently, just because like the band, we've had a lot more time to practice, so I gotta focus on music lately, as opposed to doing other stuff. And then, then doing this with you and, because of the holidays, it's just other stuff, like it's been kind of nuts.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses. There's that are taking precedent basically over doing animation or doing other things that I want to be doing. So.
Yeah. No, I gotcha. I understand what you mean. All right. Well, we will catch everybody next time.
Yep.
And as always, thanks for sharing and thanks for listening.
Yes. Glad you tuned in once again.
Catch you next time.
Bye.